Good morning, everyone. Dr. Vicky here, speaking to you from the Seeds of Transformation Healing Center. It is Friday, the 10th of November, and the moon is in Libra. We are still in the balsamic phase of the sun-moon relationship, the lunation cycle that started with that new moon solar eclipse in Libra. We're still attempting to extract meaning from what's been going on for the last month. Today, Mercury, the planet of communication, early this morning moved into the sign of Sag. So it's out of Scorpio. So that get down to the bottom line kind of energy of Scorpio, the relentless pursuit of the answer, has been replaced by big picture Sag, not the best with details. Mercury loves a detail. That's why Mercury doesn't particularly cotton, we'll say, to being in Sag. Gets in trouble in Sag because it doesn't do the detail stuff, and sometimes it says stuff in mouth. What is that? Open mouth, insert foot, right? We've talked about that before. But I love my Sagittariuses, especially those with Sag and Mercury and Sag, because they tell it like they see it. Now, they're not always right about how they see things, but they're well studied. So there's a good chance that what they see is at least partially correct. Now today, as Mercury moves into Sag, it comes up against Saturn. Remember, Saturn just turned direct on the 4th at that half degree of Pisces. So it's sort of just sitting there, moving forward ever so slowly. And every time a planet moves into another mutable sign, in this case Sag, it's going to come up against Saturn. And this time it's a square. And it's a last quarter crisis in consciousness square. So it is this sort of reorientation in the relationship between Saturn and Mercury. And Saturn and Mercury have an important, they're all important, but an important relationship, because Saturn is the structure of our consciousness and Mercury is how we take in information. So in the way, they are very much connected to each other, because they do help us structure our world, at least in our mind, in this case. And we can honestly say there are a lot of people not in their right mind. Some are in their left minds, but there's a lot of, we could call it confusion and thinking. So this Sag, Mercury will help us with the big picture, the big ideas, but maybe not today. Today there may be delays. You may your schedule may you may want to move forward, and every time you take a step, you have to deal with something before you can take another step, and that's something Sag doesn't really like. But Sag will get over it. Sag is big. Is a big boy girl, so an adult. There's an adult in the room. Sag is here. So that's what's going on, guys. What else? I think there was one other thing I wanted to talk about, and I think that was it. So don't get too frustrated with delays. Don't get too frustrated when you want to say something. Oh, I know what it was. People may not take you up right. There's also a sesquiquadrate between Mercury and Chiron. And, Mercury in Sag, foot and mouth, Chiron in Aries, the wounded ego. We can see where this is going, right? So people might be a little bit more touchy than usual, if that's even a thing. So try to communicate as best you can without perhaps being accusatory. And I say keep an open mind, but that's easy with Sag, unless you're a religious zealot and a fundamentalist, which also can happen with Sag. But I'm assuming none of those people are watching me, so that's good. So keep an open mind and know that people are, well, I don't have to tell you people are sensitive. You can feel it yourself. It's like taking a cheese grater to your knuckles sometimes, isn't it? All right, guys. On that note, I'm going to go. Charlie's waiting for his breakfast. And he was out, and then he ran in when I came out, so that's why you didn't see Charlie. But he's good. Mikey's doing better. His boo-boo on his head is almost completely healed. I have a picture of what his head looked like after he clunked on the... that's like cast iron, that thing. Thank God my husband's German, and he's got a thick German skull, because... but he also has a lot of guides, so he's doing much better. He did sprain his hand in the process, which is the thing that's taken the longest to heal, of course, because you never stop using your hands. And that's one of the reasons why we have yet to deal with this fence issue here, which every morning I come out and I try to avoid looking at it with you guys, because I don't want you guys to think that fence is still down when they're going to put that fence up. Believe me, it's all in my head. Well, that's what's going on. That's story, Morning Glories. Hey, check this out. One more thing. I just want to point out that this rose, this is the ever-present and ever-blooming and still here, even though it was 30-something degrees last night, rose. Thank you, Gretchen. And actually, these roses are still up, too. Just about everything else, though, is past where we have to wait till next year before we see this green up again. But God willing, God got us willing, we'll be here together to watch the flowers bloom yet again. Take care, everyone. Much love. Namaste.